Knowing that you maybe rushed into making your first feature film and you have a lot of things that you would have done differently, do you think it's better that you did that rather than still be talking about making that feature film 10 years out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it was the right decision to make. Like I don't fault, and I don't regret having done the film. It was really exciting. I still watch it every now and then. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually like a good little film. I'm still excited about it. But what I think that the realization that I've come to is in order to cook the meal that you need to cook, you need to have all the ingredients on the table. And so now I'm taking a much more realistic approach but with budget. I'm taking a more realistic, I'm still not in the $1 million, range, but I am at the place where I know there's a certain level of professionalism that I need, a certain level of talent that I need. And so to approach work now with a little bit more savvy and making sure I have those ingredients is a little bit more important. But I'm glad that I cooked the film that I cooked the first time. I'm very glad that I did that because I wouldn't be here had I not gone through that process.
So the film wasn't burnt, but it could have used maybe more.
It didn't rise.
Spice?
It was a cake that didn't rise, but that was still edible.
Okay, yeah, that's still good. You can still eat it out of the pan.
You can still eat it out of the pan, but you can't serve it to the masses.
Okay, right.
As metaphorical as we could be, it just didn't rise to the level that I felt like it could have risen to with a little bit better ingredients that I needed to have along the way. But it was a great, I still think it was a great project.
What prompts you to watch it over and over again?
Sometimes you just need to be reminded. I think a lot of times with creators, because we're always focused on what's next, we forget what we've done. And I think when you forget what you've done, you lose sight of how much you've grown. So like I can watch my films and I see elements in my first film that are gonna be in my new film that I'm gonna be doing. Like I still do the color coding. Like I still approach scenes kind of in a similar way, but a more progressed way than I used to in the past. I still wanna throw these little nuggets of life inside the dialogue. I still do some of the same elements. So it's nice to see that what I made was a true depiction of who I am as a creator and as a person, but it also lets me know the resources and the skill set that I was at that time. So sometimes you just have to be reminded that you have made progress. You have to see where you've been to be able to recognize where you're going.
I heard you say in a talk that you gave somewhere in New York, it was a great talk, and you said you have to know that you want to be part of this industry. Do you think people really have to know, or can they just kind of like, try it out and see where it takes you? Is it okay to be on the fence about it, or do you really have to know that you want to be in this industry?
Well, I liken it to climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Either you're going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro or you're not. You can't decide the day before climbing the mountain that you're going to climb the mountain. That's how people die on the mountain. But if you know this is what your actual goal is, then you have to put the work in to prepare yourself for it. And a lot of that is nothing that can be taught in a film school, nothing that could even really be learned on Film Courage. It is an actual experience that you have to understand who you are, how you are, because the hows really matter in this approach of making films and being part of this industry. So I think people have to know is 100% what they want to do, but there's also a little bit of beauty in the bliss of ignorance, because had I known all of what I would have had to suffer to get to this very moment that I am now, I would not have done this.
No?
I wouldn't have done it. I didn't know that there was so much suffering that's part of a creative journey in the industry that I find to be so beautiful, because it's that hard. It's literally climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. But I know how to scale Mount Kilimanjaro now because I've had so many experiences and I've been training for so long. So I feel like now I'm in LA, I'm ready to be a part of this industry. I know who I am as a creator. I know how to work with other creatives. I know how to take studio notes now. Like I know the difference between a television directing and film directing. Like I understand these things now, and I needed all those small experiences to get exactly where I am right now. But if I had the foresight, I wouldn't have done it because it's been that difficult.
What do you think you would have done?
I'm not sure. I think I would have been a teacher. I love to like teach and like share knowledge and information. And I think that's what my films are. They're just really beautiful lessons, you know, that people get to see and participate in. So I probably would have been a teacher. And I think I would have been an okay teacher.
Yeah, I think you would have been, because
Yeah.
we saw you giving like a lecture to a group of filmmakers.
Yes.
And, you know, you had high energy and just, you know, were
Yes.
willing to admit where you went wrong and different
Yeah.
things. But I just wondered if you'd ever envisioned what would have happened if you knew how hard it would have been.
I don't know. I think again, I just used the Mount Kilimanjaro thing. I think even people who have successfully scaled the mountain still didn't realize it would be as difficult as what it was. And I think to still get to the top and not recognizing how difficult what it was is where the joy comes in, right? That's what makes the hero's journey. Because I'm on my own hero's journey, trying to come from nothing to make myself relevant in an industry that I am extremely passionate about and that I love. So, yeah. But I wouldn't do it if I could see it. If I could see it, I wouldn't have done it.
Does your family ever call you to come home?
No, they don't. They knew calling me to try to come back to Arkansas would be totally futile. It would be a futile call. They would never make that call. And there was a lot of trepidation for them. I mean, to live in Arkansas is to live in such a safe space. You know, it doesn't take much to own a home. There's a community of people that already support, that already love. But the reality is the industry that I want to be a part of exists in New York and it exists in LA. So I had to make the decisions to come out here, and I'm glad that I did.